nothing stays the same.
Carlos Alcaraz dethrones Djokovic at Wimbledon.
In this place, the past is revered. The future is welcomed, with the ivy alongside and the grass underneath. You can see it in these fresh faces, in their firm embraces of major moments and precious metals. Here is tomorrow, in these young hearts, channeling champions past, while carving their own paths. And as always in shifting winds, mighty oaks fight against them. Even here, where ancient customs are maintained and tradition reigns, the only constant is change. Watch it happen at the championships, Wimbledon.
Welcome to Wimbledon. What a fabulous time of year it is. Beautiful week one expected here around the grounds. 70s, 60s, maybe reaching 80, but it looks very dry, some cloud coverage. Look at how perfect those courts are. We're ready to get started. Speaking of new twists, look at us in a brand new home. Hi, everyone, and welcome to Wimbledon, third Grand Slam of 2024. Back with two of my favorites. I'm Chris McKendry, John McEnroe, Chrissy Everett. Good to see you back.
Good to see you, too.
Can I say, first of all, that
okay.
It is absolutely incredible to see you two here at this new incredible studio at Wimbledon. And Chris,
You
know,
say
I
that
love you.
every year.
No, but I mean it. This is one of my favorite days of the year, particularly to see you here, Chrissy.
Agreed.
After, you know, the health issues you've struggled with. So
Thank you. Thanks,
it is
John.
absolutely amazing to see you here. We're excited about this event. Can I also, where's the camera? Somewhere here, there, everywhere. Wish my brother, this is an incredible day for the McEnroe family. My brother's birthday today, July 1st. It's an incredible day. Thank you, Aiden, I appreciate that. And also, I got to go to, Hyde Park, which is like Central Park, in New York, and see Kings of Leon last night. It's a great event. I mean, they have a couple weeks where they have a lot of great musicians.
Yeah,
Chrissy, you plan on going to see anyone?
A few of them.
Oh, okay. Well, you missed last night. It was great.
Okay.
So I'm super pumped up to see who's going to win this in the men's and women.
This day, the first day at Wimbledon, never gets old. I mean, we might get old, but the first day never gets old as far as... No, I feel the electricity when I walk in, and I think the players are very excited. They're very respectful of Wimbledon. They dearly want to win it. It could change a life if they win it. But I just think it trickles down to the fans and the press and the grounds people and the ball kids, and everybody seems so excited, so happy. And it's Wimbledon, and it is the iconic tournament of the year.
Give it a couple days before everyone starts getting miserable and stressed.
That's true.
And
but
the
look
court
at the court.
gets beat up. Right now, we should just focus. The courts look
impeccable,
beautiful.
right? Impeccable. Everybody's dressed in
Will
white.
there be any brown anywhere near the net? Because I watch these guys and girls practice. No one's anywhere near the net. I'm like, are they even playing on grass anymore? It's not like it was
not like
in the
when
old
you were
days.
playing.
Yeah.
Not like when you were.
It was.
I mean, I was playing at
50
baseline.
years ago
but-
today.
yeah.
I'm
Actually, 40 years ago for John, big anniversary.
ago, almost.
It's 50 years ago
You
for
have to
Chrissy.
just
We're going to
pass
get
that
there.
down.
Oh, are
It's
you
like a
kidding?
long time for
Come
both
on,
of
we're
us.
proud of these things. We'll talk about your anniversaries coming up.
Another time.
A reason you say players want to play here, they don't want to miss it. Novak Djokovic, perfect example. He was not going to miss Wimbledon, as I said, sore right knee, repaired right knee. We'll talk about that. He's looking at 24 Grand Slam titles, tied with Margaret Court for the most all time. Still looking at number 25. He'd love to get it here. Also tie Federer, and then get the 8th here at Wimbledon.
Yeah, but I wonder how bad this knee is, Chris. What do you think? I mean, it's hard. I was there in the French. Let's look at the French, because He got screwed with the scheduling. He played at 3 in the morning. I commentated that match. That was he had to come back about 36 hours later. He came from 2 sets to 4-2 down. He was looking like the knee was going to go on him. Played incredible in the 5th set against Cerundolo. So he's in the quarters. The next day he defaults.
Yeah.
And then the day after that, he says he has surgery on the knee. I've had that a couple times where, you know, the knee goes. I didn't have surgery, but they say normally it's 6 to 8 weeks. Excuse me, my earpiece is falling out. I'm hearing from Bobby, yes, get it done quick. It was like, there's no way the guy's going to play Wimbledon, right?
Yeah.
So what actually, I don't know how. Listen, I'm glad it was a tiny meniscus tear, whatever it was. It's awesome that he's here because it just adds to it. Because, we're going to talk about Alcaraz, Sinner, and hopefully some Americans.
Yeah. Well, he's played the event every year since 2005. He didn't want to miss it. He's 37. The time is now. But he did go in after that match against Musetti, carried it into the next match, it looked like, at the French. Like you were talking about, John, the late night match, then Cerundolo match, pulled out. June 5th is when he had surgery. And by last Sunday, he was back here at Wimbledon on the practice courts. He addressed the status of his injury and why he's confident going forward.
I don't see myself holding back. I don't see myself calculating or being a bit more cautious in the movement. I don't see that happening. I go all in. I go full out. I mean, that's the way I've been doing. That's the way I've been playing my entire career. So if I don't have the feeling that I can do that on Tuesday, I wouldn't be speaking to you guys today. I wouldn't be in the draw. That's for sure.
What do you expect, Chrissy?
Well, it's very interesting because he's upped the intensity of his training and his rehab. And I think when you get a knee scoped, there are many degrees of how bad it can be. Obviously, if he's back on the courts now, John, it wasn't as, as bad as we thought or he thought it was. But, I mean, he's unbelievable. He puts majors before the Olympics. He's always said that. Wimbledon is my dream tournament. Yeah. Some people don't, because some people don't necessarily do that. But he...
You don't even get points or, but it's...
No, nice. I know. An Olympic gold, though, I mean, he doesn't have an...
But the last surface you want to play, because we've seen Djokovic fall, 500 times, at the baseline, when he's healthy. Mm-hmm. That's a given on grass. He's always, he's way back, the grass is green, he slipped. This is where you get nervous, especially early on. He's got to tiptoe around a little, but he's been there, done that so many times. Hopefully it won't be an issue.
I just don't know how your knee can be 100% though after 3 weeks. And like you said, slipping and sliding in and out of corners, it's the most dangerous surface for a knee, I feel.
Right.
So exactly. It's going to be almost like such an effort for him to win this tournament. I would be very surprised if he won this tournament. Also, the fact that he hasn't won a tournament all year, and the fact that he has Sinner and Alcaraz waiting for him,
the other side,
who have both beaten.
It's amazing to think he hasn't won a tournament all year when he did win 3 of the 4 Grand Slam titles just last year. Earlier this week on Thursday, now it's something that has started the past few years because of how slippery center court has been. They allow players to get out there and play, but you have to be a world #1 or a defending champion. So actually, it was Jannik Sinner who brought Novak Djokovic onto the practice court with him, center court, on Thursday. But Novak, walking out to the court, was the one giving the tutorial, as you'd expect.
Yeah, we were just talking about it. It's a very special kind of walkway to the center court. Don't get to experience this kind of elegant entrance to the center court.
Yeah, exactly.
Right? It's very, very classic, very stylish, very beautiful. Honestly, it always does feel like the first time because you don't, as I said, all the other tournaments, it's kind of the locker room, tunnel, walkway to the court setup is really different. So you go through the members club here, you almost feel like you're underdressed, even though you didn't like it.
You dress for battle.
You feel like you need a jacket and a tie to come in. This is just before you walk out on the court. Of course, the trophies. I guess, plenty of motivation here.
And then also the sentence,
Of course,
obviously.
the phrase to remind you.
Yeah. And what about now? Just that.
Yeah, heart rate going up, I guess.
Yeah, pressure before the match.
And how about you? How do you feel?
I feel excited. Look, already just a view like this, it's amazing, no?
Well, they've met the last 2 years here. 2 years ago was the quarterfinals. Last year, semifinals. Djokovic got the better of Sinner in both occasions. And this is a look at their hit, and you'll see Djokovic with the sleeve on his right knee.
I'm just surprised. I'm pleasantly surprised, happy to see that they're allowing finally a little bit of play, not some, doubles from 65 and over ladies who are members, which is what they used to do, by the way.
Yeah.
So I'm not even making that up. And so this is a step in the right direction. I don't know why they weren't doing that before. Better late than never. Great to see that Novak's playing. I don't know why Sinner's the favorite. I mean, Alcaraz won this last year on the grass. I know that, and he beat Sinner in the semis of the French, as an example. But I don't think it matters, except for one small thing. They're on the same half.
Yes.
Because of the rain. So that Djokovic is probably pretty thrilled about that.
That was a big, big thing when the draw came out, where the two of them fell. And Djokovic's draw compared to Jannik Sinner's, a lot easier. A lot easier. Well, the big three plus Andy Murray, so the big four, stranglehold on this Wimbledon title for 19 years until last year in this classic. You see Carlos Alcaraz on grass beats Novak Djokovic in five.
Well, listen, to me, I've been saying this for a couple years. This guy's the greatest thing that happened to men's game in 15 years, since those three.
Yeah, he has the best all-around game.
He's got everything.
Versatility.
Name
especially on-
any shot he can't hit. So, to think he can't play on grass would be absurd. The guy's one of the best. I think he's the best volleyer in the world.
Yeah, he checks
Okay.
up all the boxes when it comes to grass court. The movement, the court coverage, the hands like yours.
Yes, one of the quickest guys ever on a tennis court. Incredibly positive. I taught him that attitude, how to smile. Yeah, right. I'm like so jealous of that in a way. I'm so I just love that he's somehow able to do, especially all the talk in sports about mental health and how do you deal with the pressure. And of course there is. And this guy it's amazing.
Yeah. Finds joy in everything
So Chris,
he does.
if Novak, take the right knee out of the equation, is he even the favorite now, just looking at the two of these young players? Again, Novak's 37, 21 for Alcaraz, 22 for Sinner. Is Novak still the favorite coming into these events? Were he healthy? 100%.
That's a good question. I mean, I think you can never take him for granted, and you can never put anything past him. And we've seen him in matches come through when he had no reason, no right to win matches. But in saying that, just because the fact that Sinner and Alcaraz are on a high now from winning majors, I just think they're young, they're hungry, they have wins under their belt over Novak, so there's no intimidation factor. I just feel I would have to pick one of those two. And in saying that, Alcaraz and Sinner, I will say I will not pick a winner with conviction. Because
because it's early, or
no? I just think it's so close.
If you had to pick somebody, no.
Do you think they're like you and Bjorn as far as one with all the versatility and the hands and the movement against a hard-hitting? Sinner being the hard hitter, and do you see that comparison?
Personality, contrast in styles.
I do.
I'd love the opportunity to go out against my old buddy. I love him, Bjorn. It was great to be able to play those matches. I'm sure they're going to have the same type of rivalry.
Yeah.
It's going to be awesome.
It is.
Yeah.
But it's difficult to say. Father Time's undefeated. You don't know when. Is LeBron James going to be that good? Next is he played this year or 40?
Right.
Right. Tom Brady, at some point, maybe
does it sneak up on you that quickly? I know you retired
really quickly,
earlier,
like in the late 20s.
But to go from a year like Novak winning 3 of the 4 last year, like how quickly it's changed.
True.
How quickly?
True.
Because all he cares about is the slams. Let's be obvious. That's obvious, right? So he goes there. He lost to who did he? Sinner. It's not like so he could have won that potentially.
His schedule's been different, too. He's not playing as many tournaments.
He defaulted in the French. He was in the quarters.
Yeah.
He played rude in the quarters.
And that was interesting when he defaulted. That's when Sinner became #1 in the world. So
Right.
Sinner jumped to number 1 when Novak couldn't continue in the French, and then Sinner went out and won his first grass court title as number 1. That's impressive.
Novak's strength is his mental ability, right?
Yes.
Mental. Okay, mental. Okay, as soon as that wavers just 2%, he's going to be a different player. So I think that's what I see happening, as well as his body. That 2%. You know, he's got a family. He's got other obligations. You know, maybe he wants to enjoy life. This is a grind, this tour.
At some point, you want to appreciate, you know, all this success. You know, not have to keep, you know, on the grindstone constantly, 24/7.
All right, Novak plays tomorrow for the men. Again, it's Sinner and Alcaraz today. For the women, Iga Swiatek, Chrissy, she's just racking up the Grand Slam titles, but they're all coming on clay except for the one U.S. Open. Wimbledon ladies singles, for the first time since 1996. 1996, we don't have a Williams sister in the draw. It is so wide open here at Wimbledon. 7 different champions the last 7 times they've had the tournament on the women's side.
Chrissy, you're the perfect person to ask as we, you know, watch Swiatek win the French for the 4th time, because you were amazing. You won what? It was you didn't lose for 10 years on clay, right? What would you tell her if you're coaching her? Because to me, she doesn't look like she believes or has the game yet on grass, but you won it, we mentioned, 50 years ago.
You have to make adjustments. Iga's got to make. She just
What are
can't
they?
play her clay court game. First of all, her sweet spot is around her shoulder or higher. She loves hitting those forehands. The sweet spot on grass is around your waist area. So she's got to lower her racket. She says she finds it harder to put some topspin on her shots to come
when it's lower.
Up underneath.
Seems like
exactly.
It's easier.
She's got that Western grip, as we talked about. She's not getting any free points on her serve like these other players are. So she's got to beef up that serve, which she's worked on.
Okay.
And I think getting in and out of the corner, she's the best mover. Also, Coco Gauff, I'd put her in that class. But the way she gets in and out of corners on clay, the way she just gets, you can't do that on grass. You don't have the footing. You don't have that solid footing as much.
More.
So it takes away a little bit of her movement.
Let's watch how you...
Let's see the movement of Chris Evert. 1974, Chrissy won her first Grand Slam title at the French, followed it up winning Wimbledon.
Oh, wow, we got to see
Okay, well, there's the Western grip. No, I'm kidding.
That looks sort of Eastern, at least.
And the wood rackets, this really outdates everybody here. And then the hairstyle.
Oh, they didn't have video then?
There's no video?
Yeah.
Oh, here we go. All right.
This is match point. I didn't even have to hit
my God.
I threw the racket up.
Played incredible that point.
I threw the racket up. That's what everybody else did. Then look at the ribbons back in those days. 74. I never should have won it that year because Yvonne Goolagong and Billie Jean King got beaten before I could play them, and they were better than me on grass.
Are you sure?
Yes. Anyway, enough about me.
Modest.
Let's get back to this tournament.
Very modest. It's a very difficult thing to do, win the French to Wimbledon.
It is.
And even now they have an extra week. The surfaces play a little more similar.
Yeah, but also Iga played...
A lot more similar.
A lot more similar.
Iga played 4 tournaments. Okay, she played 3 tournaments plus the French. She herself admitted she was emotionally exhausted, mentally exhausted, and physically exhausted. So you need a week, okay? She didn't play any warm-up tournaments. We'll see.
How about 3 weeks?
How it goes. I don't
Djokovic
underestimate
has not
her.
played a tournament. You know, he rarely...
He's won this 6 times without playing a warm-up.
Exactly. So
6 times.
She doesn't need to play.
it.
It's just the first couple rounds are dicier here than any other major as far as the top players.
Confidence will have
because of the court.
That's something to look for today, actually. The second match out on court number 1 is Aryna Sabalenka. She's openly discussing it to anybody who will listen around the grounds over the weekend. Her shoulder hurts. It's a rotator cuff. Her expectations seem pretty low. Coco Gauff, very high expectations. The U.S. Open champion is now up to world number 2, and that's because she has backed up this U.S. Open from last September with a semifinal appearance Australia, semifinal appearance in Paris. She has been the most consistent in the Grand Slams. What about here on grass? She lost first round last year, so maybe no points to back up here. How can that help?
Well, it helps alleviate some of that pressure. I mean, I think that was very well said, that there's only upside here. Can her game translate to grass? Absolutely translate to grass. Are you kidding me? I mean, she's one of the best doubles players in the world. She has skill at net. She should use that more to her advantage, to me. She's got one of the biggest serves in the game. if I were her, because it looks to me like she's trying to add 5-10 miles per hour. We got to ask Bradley about this, Coach Gilbert. But it seems like she's trying to add a lot more speed, yes, but maybe dropping in percentage. To me, her serve's already big enough. Back off a little bit, get that percentage at high, and just work that, and then move forward more often. I mean,
Yeah.
she's one of the top couple favorites to win this.